Hello, 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 crafty friends. Yes, it's Caron, your ATX Stamping Lady. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, coming to you from the beautiful ATX, Austin, Texas. And I'm here today to play with some new products that I just got in. And because I just got them in, it was on my mind and on my mind to play with them. And so I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know I wanted to play with them and share them with you today. All right, so let me back up again. Well, before I do all of that, thanks for joining me today. If you are watching live, just comment in the box and just say, hey, watching live, or something like that nature. Let me know you were watching live. If you're watching on the replay, just do #replay so that I'll know that you were watching the replay. Either way, I am so happy that you decided to spend some time with me today as I share with you some new products. And actually just kind of figure out what to do with them, because as beautiful as they are, I just knew I wanted to play with them, but I had no path forward. I didn't know what I wanted to do with them. I just know I wanted to play with them. So here we go. We're playing. All right. First things first, let me share with you. If you follow Stampin' Up, you'll know that this year we went from doing one annual catalog that covers the 12-month period, to now doing quarterly catalogs. So the current catalog expires at the end of this month. Actually, so the current catalog expires at the end of this month, and this one will go live on the 1st of September. So I can't show you the inside of this catalog because that would be against Stampin' Up rules. But this is primarily going to be our quote unquote holiday catalog, where we'll have like fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas kind of stamps that's going to be in here. We're also going to be looking at new online exclusives. So guys, don't forget, we also have online exclusive products. Online exclusive products are those products that Stampin' Up brings out. I believe it's every other month, and they will never be in one of our catalogs. They will always just be in an online store. And once they are no longer available, they generally are not restocked. Some of them are, but generally an online exclusive item is generally not restocked. Okay, so that's what this is. And as soon as I can share with you the inside of this catalog, I will go ahead and do so. But for now, oops, I can't. So let's put this aside. The other thing I want to share with you is, you do know that Stampin' Up, we are now doing a product of the month. So every month, Stampin' Up features a new product. For the month of August, it's this beautiful designer series paper called Glow of Harvest. It is a 12 by 12 designer series paper, specialty designer series paper, DSP in the Stampin' Up world. There are 12 sheets in this pack, and they're all single-sided. So there's 2 sheets each of 6 designs that's going to be in this pack. Let me share with you what the paper looks like, right? And this is what's causing me to decide that I wanted to jump on today and just play with this. You can see the shimmer on that already, right? So every single one of these designs have shimmer on them. They are absolutely gorgeous. You can't see it I don't think you can see it on the camera, but they are all so beautiful and shimmery. Now, our product of the month, you get the product of the month for $5 with a minimum $75 in the US, with a minimum $75 purchase. So with any $75 purchase, pre-tax, pre-shipping, you are able to add the product of the month to your shopping cart for $5. Now you can only get one. So once you've purchased it once, you can't get it a second time. Okay, so here's our prints. This is our first print. Look at this. I see Cajun Craze in here. Let me tell you what the coordinating colors are. I think this is probably a crumb cake, maybe. Well, instead of guessing, let me read them to you. Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, and Pecan Pie. Those are the colors that's in this, that's in the designer series paper. Plus, you got that shimmer. Do not forget that shimmer. It's probably Early Espresso there. There's your your Cajun Craze. There's your Autumn Glow. This is probably your Pecan Pie that's here. Something is out of order because there we go. We only had that one sheet. Right? And then we have our pumpkins. And then we have some more foliage. Okay? So these papers inspired me that I had to use them today. Hold on one second, guys. Let me pop on and see if I'm live on the channel. Make sure that I'm live. Yes, I am live. Let me go ahead and make sure I share. How to use them today. Hold on one second. Oops, make sure I don't have any sound there. All right, so let me go ahead and share. Perfect. All right, so now we're back. We're live. I think, oh, hi. Ooh, Lynn D. Okay, so I don't know your handle, so just type your real name for me. I would love to recognize you at Lindy K Designs. Hi. All right, so this is a designer series paper. Now, I also had in mind to use this Fun for Fall stamp and die set. Isn't it beautiful? I think this is amazing. Look at this. Hi, I did say it right. Lindy K. Hi, Lindy. How are you? All right, so here's what I decided to use. And I thought these would pair very well in making today's card. Again, I don't know what I'm making. I just knew I wanted to use both of these products in some way, shape, or form in creating today's project. So let's get started because this might take us a while because I am creating from scratch. So what I did was I went ahead and I stamped some of the images already so that I would have stuff that's already stamped, that all we would probably need to do is die cut and then figure out what exactly we are going to be doing. So these are hay bales. So I stamped about 3 of them. I don't know how many I'm going to use. I just stamped them, okay? We have a scarecrow. There's 3 different bird images in the stamp set, and I stamped 2 of each. There's a little flag. There's some leaf images. There are sentiments. And you guys, the dies have additional images. So there's some corn stalks. There's the corn. And then there's a fence. So we have room to play and room to grow in whatever it is we are going to design. I think I'm going to try as much as possible to use as many of the images and die cuts that we can use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time coloring the images because, of course, that takes a long time. So let's start with the straw bales. I stamped those in Darling Duckling, and I think my goal was to use Wild Wheat. Now, Wild Wheat is a retired color, right? So you may not have those, but I wanted the outline and the colors to be a little bit different. So we'll see how this works. Of course, we stamped 3 of them. Let me turn some light back on because, you know, I'm a blind girl, right? Let's start with our outline and see how they work, right? Oh, that'll work, right? Oh no, that's gonna, all right. Is everybody ready for the work week? I generally telework Mondays, but I'm actually going to be going into the office tomorrow. I think I get more work done when I get to the office, truth be told. So I tend to go in even though I am supposed to be teleworking. Unless, of course, I've got stuff to do at home, meaning, you know, there's a plumber coming or something like that. I tend to work from home on those days just because, you know, repair people give you such, what's the word I'm going to use? They give you such wide margins of time. Oh, we'll be there between 8 and 12, but buddy, that's 4 hours. You know what I mean? That is 4 hours. That doesn't help. All right, and then I think I'm just going to try to blend down with dark and light Darling Duckling. Okay. Oh, Darling Duckling seems to be darker than that. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to blend down with the lights. Because that might work better for us then. I don't like that. Okay, that's better when I do it that way. All right, and then we're gonna do for our straw man scarecrow. We're gonna give him Darling Duckling colored hair. Now, most of the time when I am coloring things, especially if I'm trying to build a scene of some sort, I try to make sure that I carry colors across. Okay. By that, you'll see a little bit of some of a color across each pattern. Okay. I'm gonna grab my now this isn't meant to be like an in-depth color job, right? I'm gonna color the overalls in yellow. In blues. So I'm gonna grab my what color do I want to use? Blueberry bushel, light and dark. And guys, I almost always will grab my light and darks. I never know if I'm going to use them, but I most always certainly will grab them. All right. And balmy blue are the colors I'm going to use. So the shirt, I'm going to have be balmy blue. And the overalls are going to be I might need to get another balmy blue. Well, that's what happens sometimes. So how I'm going to achieve the light and dark texture in the balmy blue is I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to go over it again to achieve a little bit of depth with color, okay? Obviously, I did not play with any of these colors prior. I didn't play with anything, actually. I just kind of decided I wanted to go live today, right? So I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to go in with Blueberry Bushel, dark. And I almost always will outline with dark and then blend out from there. That way you've already hit where your highlight and your shading will be. All right. Not saying that you can't change your mind later on, just it's just always nice to have a start. Everybody colors differently. Laundry calls. You too. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for stopping in. All right, so we've got our highlight there. So now I'm just going to blend out. Okay, that's all we're going to have there. And then I'm going to grab my light Darling Duckling, and I'm going to add it here, here, okay. And that's what we've got Copper Cajun Craze in the designer paper. So I'm going to bring in Cajun Craze for the hat and do the same thing. Generally, I will use the brush tip, but then I use the nib when I'm trying to get into tight spaces. And then I'm going to blend out with the light Cajun Craze. Just so we have a little bit of highlight going on in our, let me see if, okay. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of we need a little bit of straw color. So let's see if maybe Golden Glow will work for the face. That's a little dark. That's a little dark. It's a scarecrow. Let's just do it, right? All right, our scarecrow is done. All right. All right, now we're done with our coloring. Well, wheat will go away. I like to put things back as I'm working. That way it stays out of my way. So we're pretty much practically almost finished with coloring our main image. And then we're going to go ahead and die cut that. Let's go ahead and do some golden glow on our leaves. Now, I don't remember whether there were dies in here or not for the leaves. But just in case there are, these will already be stamped and ready to put on cards. Okay. Let's grab Occasion Craze. Because you know, fall leaves comes in all colors. And then I want a this is Blackberry Bliss. It's a little, probably a little bit, oh no, this will work. And then a little bit of real red. I mean, cherry cobbler. I probably should have done real red so I can see the red part. Okay, so next is we're going to color in the little pool that our straw man is on. And I'm bringing in some crumb cake. And I need a green for the grass. And there we go. Okay, now we've got some of this stuff already done, so let's go ahead and die cut what we need to die cut. Let's put these away. I'm still thinking about the card that I want to make, y'all, just so you know. Yeah. Okay. I might have to redo these. I'm not 100% in love with these guys, so I don't know. We'll see. And then we're going to color our birds. We've got some gray granite. This is dark gray granite. Then we've got some light gray granite. Then I'm gonna grab a, I'm not sure what color I'm looking for. So I'm just coloring right now. This is my dark Autumn Glow. And I might do a Cajun Craze one. I might do a Cajun Craze bird. I don't know if it makes sense or not to have a Cajun Craze bird, but that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes when you're coloring or creating, it literally is just what makes sense to you as you are creating. And all I'm doing is adding a little bit of highlight where I think highlight should be. All right. It's almost time for me to make a decision. Yes. On what I am going to be creating. I love Build a Scene, and this is perfect for Build a Scene. Okay. So now let's just do some cutting, and where's my machine? Here's this. Hi, hey Deb. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. I love that you always try to catch me. I got this, I got these products, and I just decided, hey, I want to play with them. So no notice, which is kind of how I create these days. It's like, oh, I just got this. Let's play with it. And that is generally how I create. Where is this dot? Where are the dies? All right. Let's get you die cut out. I do plan on going live with you guys again. I have a busy week of meetings this week. So if I do go live, it'll be at some weird times and weird hours, just because I got meetings right after work that I have to participate in, training and so on and so forth. So that will probably happen. Yeah. So as long as you guys have your notification bells on, you will be notified whenever I go live. Well, we can use this. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. So we're going to cut our fence line. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not, but it just makes sense for me to have them while I'm die cutting. Yes, I am. I'm not a big Halloween fan, so I tend to skip right over that. I know. I do tend to skip right over Halloween, unfortunately. Okay. Let's go ahead and stamp die cut a couple of our hay bales. I don't think that one's right. I think this one's right. Perfect. I love Thanksgiving. I love Halloween, Christmas. I love fall. I just love the colors that that goes along with fall. I mean, that is the one thing that I miss living here in Texas. I went to college in Massachusetts, and so we had, I mean, fall foliage was a real thing, and I just loved the change of seasonings. I did not like winter. Yeah. And my dislike of winter kind of seems to have overridden my love of all the other seasons. I just don't. It's just too cold for me. I mean, I get cold here in Texas, God, for goodness sakes. And Texas is not, you would not say Texas is a cold place or a place that gets cold. All right, so we have got those cut out. Okay. Okay, so the leaves were not, there are no die cuts for the leaves, so we'll probably end up stamping those directly onto whatever our card base is that we're going to use, our design is. So we'll probably end up doing that. All right. Since we can do that, let's just cut these off. Doesn't mean you gotta waste them, right? All right. Fortunately, there's 3 dies, one for each of the different shaped birds. That's one. I think this one is this one. Sometimes you just know. I don't know how you know, but you look at them and you can tell what they belong to. So I went ahead and I just tried to de-stickify that just a little bit. And then the last. And we're going to do this twice. So we can have 2 of each bird. I think we're probably only going to need 1. But once I put the die cut away, I don't want to have to reach for it again. So I don't want to have to reach for it again. So we're just going to die cut them. If we don't use them, that's fine. We'll put them back. We'll put them in one of our little containers that have our die cuts in them. That one we're probably going to label birds. Uh-oh. That one's probably lost a lot of its sticky, so I gotta probably get a new piece. Well, the thing that I worry about is, you know, obviously it's moving and shifting as it passes through the machine. All right. I know, right? It all depends on where you grow up, what you know, how you feel about temperatures and seasons and so on and so forth. I mean, I can deal with winter provided I'm inside and I don't ever have to go outside, which obviously is not something that's really, really feasible. Yeah. Um, but I am so used to the heat. I'm from the Caribbean, so definitely used to warmer weather. It's my preference, actually. Some of my coworkers look at me because I walk at lunch during the lunch day. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but here lately in Texas, it's about 102, 103 degrees in the summer during lunchtime. And that's when I'm out walking and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm walking." You know, that works for me. They think I'm nuts, and I probably am a little nuts, but hey, I don't mind the heat. I'm okay with the heat. Of course, when I walk, I have a hat that I walk with. I have a little personal fan that I walk with. So I do have some precautions against the heat. Yeah. I didn't color these, but they're here, so we're just going to cut them out. I don't know if I'm going to use them. Now, I'm not throwing those leaves away, the ones that I already stamped and colored. And I'm not throwing them out because, you know, I won't do it now, but I'm pretty sure I can fussy cut them and use them. I won't fussy cut them today. And then the next thing that I want to do is to cut a couple of corn. I know, I'm just going to throw everything at this thing. I'm going to throw everything at it. I have a piece. I think this is Darling Duckling. I'm hoping that the corn will fit on it. I think it will too. Yes! See, I love it when things work. Right? Because now what? That means I don't have to, I literally do not have to bring out a whole sheet of paper to make this happen. And I was getting ready just to put that in the trash. Ha! All right, I think we're almost done with all of our die cutting, I think. I think I got like 9. 1, 2, 3. Do I need any more? Can it fit on that side? Probably not. No. This guy's done. And then there's one last thing I need to, well, 2 things. I need to cut this guy. I need to cut him. Oh, let's do this. Oh yeah, let's do that. And I think now, with the exception of if we decide to do sentiments, there are no sentiment dies with this. So any sentiment will either have to fussy cut around, or we will have to stamp directly on our card, or just cut, punch, or do something with, yeah. So we've got one. And I'm going to do a second one just in case. All right. Now we got to figure out our card and how we're going to use our designer series paper in this card, because baby, we got to use this designer series paper. Because it's gorgeous. All right. Has anybody seen Spider-Man already? Oh my gosh, I enjoyed it. I used to be such a big movie buff, and I still enjoy movies, but for a while there, my sister and I would go to the movies almost every Tuesday. You know, they had a lot of stuff going out, and after work on a Tuesday, well, my sister's retired, so she gracefully allowed for me to get off work, and so we would that would be our sister time, where we would get together and just go watch a movie and spend some time together, my sister and I. Okay, so now let's figure out what we are going to do. Any ideas, you guys? Do I want to do a fun fold card, or do I just want to do a background? And then let's take a look. I think this one will be the one that I use. All right. So there's that one. And also put him in a pumpkin patch. There's a glare there. We can put him in a pumpkin patch. With our bales of hay. All right. Can do that one. All right, Deb, you take care. Thanks for popping in. I don't know. I don't know. I think I like them all. I like them all. But I'm thinking either this one, because it has the Calypso coral in it, and we can pick that up, or this one, because it also has the Calypso coral in it. I think this one. Generally, my first thought is always right. That's what I think, anyway. All right, so this is the sheet I'm going to go with, right? So let me put this away. Right? And then kind of think this through. I did want to, I'm going to reach for my Everyday Arches dies. You take care. I'm going to try to go live again at least twice next week. Well, not live. I might post videos just because I do have a lot of meetings and stuff for next week. So maybe about two more times next week that I'll be on air. Whether live and in person or just streaming. I'm not sure yet. All right, so then I thought about doing this. Right? Oh yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That's precisely what I'm going to do. I love it when a plan comes together. This is a 3 1/4, 1, 2, 3, maybe about a 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut about a 3 1/2 piece because I don't want to die cut right in the middle of it. So if I do this, all right, if I do 3 1/2, where is this going to take? Yeah, I think 3 1/2 will work. Let's do 3 1/2. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. And then I'm going to cut a bigger piece. And I want to cut that one. I want to focus on Cajun Craze as my accent piece. Right? Something happened there. I'm not sure. So I'm going to run it through again. Didn't quite all die cut out. So I'm going to run it back through one more time. Let's see what happened there. Hopefully we have a cleaner cut this time. And then I'm going to need, yeah, they cut it out, I think. Perfect. So we've got our base shape. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything with that, but right. And then I need this one. I'm going to cut this one out of Cajun Craze. Give me a second, you guys, because I do not have Cajun Craze sitting right here with me. placed an order today with Stampin Up, and oh, maybe this one might work better. And never even crossed my mind that I needed Cajun crease. So, all right, let me give this a quick cut. Then I have my Cajun crease base. And then we're going to put this card together and call it a day. I think. I think. The other day I was looking for my Cajun, everyday arches dies, and I turned my crown tree upside down trying to find that thing. And I couldn't find it. Found it this morning though. Sure did. All right. So what we're going to end up doing is a little bit of that. Where's my card base? I generally will always default to a white card base. That's just my preference. It is just a preference. Right. So this is going to be like that. That's going to be on there like this. And then we are going to build our seam. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build my seam. I'm going to definitely want a bird. One on his head. One on each. Well, how about we do that? One on each arm. One on his head. Well, maybe we put one on the bale of hay. And then we've got these corn. I'm going to put one. Okay, I think I have an idea as to what I want to do. So let's just make this happen, okay? All right, so first things first, our scarecrow is going to be on dimensionals. So we got to get that done. Okay. A little bit here, all the way down. Snip there. I should have made this a roll of the die video, because this is but I had an idea of what I wanted, so the die could have sent me in another completely different direction, and I just didn't want that. I had a general idea as to where I wanted to be with this design. So here we are. Okay. Right. Perfect. So I'm just going to go right there. It's not straight. I got my new glasses today, and everything seems a little off. Right? So we can put our bales. Ooh, do we want to do the corn behind him? Because maybe we can do that. Right? Okay, so that's definitely going to happen. All right, so one part of the design is a definite, and that's been figured out. So let's go ahead and put those in place, because that is definitely what I want to do. Now, the designer series paper that we are using is the product of the month for the month of August. It is only available with a qualifying $75 purchase, and that's $75 before shipping and tax, and any rewards application. So if you have Stampin' Rewards, if you do decide to use that, you must still reach $75 prior to being able to add this to your cart, okay? It is available. I would say it's only available in August, but that's not necessarily true. It is available while supplies last. If, as we roll into September, there's still some available, you are able to add it to your cart next month. Again, still with a qualifying $75 purchase. All right. All righty. So have you guys seen that we've come out with a foiling system? Yes. I personally have not purchased it, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I don't have faith in the Stampin' Up system or not. It's just before Stampin' Up came up with the foiling system, I have a Crafter's Companion, the hot foil system from there. And quite honestly, I've never used it. Yeah. And so really where I'm at this point is, am I going to use it? If I'm not going to use it, which historically I've proven that I might not use it. I'm not sure that purchasing it is the right option for me. I am going to buy the products, the Stampin' Up! Products, foil system products. I am. This one's going to go there. Because I can use them. I think I can anyway. Just in this trying times, I'm just trying to be a little bit more frugal. And wise with the coins. But the products are beautiful. Don't get that twisted. Okay? So there's that one. And we're going to put this one over there. How's our scene looking so far? Right? Awesome. Okay, now we've got our little fence. Right? We're gonna do that, but we need for him, let me find, here we go, our strips. And I'm probably gonna have to double up on that because the Scarecrow, he is already on dimensional, so this one needs to be, it's gonna need to be taller than what he's already on. So I will probably have to double up. Now, one of the ways that I could avoid doubling up on dimensionals or the foam strips is I could have cut this fence a couple more times, 3 or 4 more times, stacked those, and then just used one strip of the dimensions. I didn't do that, so this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to double stack our tape. Okay. At least that's what I think is going to work. I probably should have left the middle one with none, because I wasn't thinking. I wasn't. So I probably won't, we'll see. Okay. Got a weird sound going on here. Not quite sure why. All right. Maybe I'm overheating. I don't know. It's hot here today. Now I might have to triple stack this. This is where I'm getting, where I think this is telling me to go. Yeah. telling me to triple stack, so I'm going to triple stack it and see what I get. All right, I think we're good. Let's cut this off, and I think we're good. I need to trim some of this off. And we are almost done with this card. Let's see. Trim that. Trim that. Trim that. All right, I think we're good to go. Right? So now we've got our fence. Look at that. I love it when things work out. I do. All right, and then the last thing we're going to, well, not last, because we have some other things that we have to do, is we are now going to affix our corn. Right? Okay. Now, just a reminder, I think one of them cut either 6 or 8 corn. All right. I got 4 more. I'm going to add one here. I think that's it. I might put another bird on one of these guys. And this was in my head, so I'm really glad that I was able to get it out. Now, this is definitely not the type of card that I generally create. but it was just so cute. I had to do it. Okay. And then the third one's going to go over here like so. All right. Let those dry. Let them dry. And I'm going to put that guy right on top of that. I know sometimes you have something in your head, you don't know if it's going to work, and so you just literally you just have to try it, go for it and see what happens. Yeah, that's it. Just try it and go for it. If it doesn't work, it is just paper. Granted, you did just spend all that time, you know, putting it together, but still, it is just paper. Okay. And now I'm going to put this guy on top of here. Which side doesn't seem balanced? So I'm going to put it over here. Okay. Guys, this card is done. Except for a sentiment, and I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to put on there. And so now I'm just going to stack, assemble, put our card together. Guys, if the Everyday Arches dies retire, it is one that I would highly encourage you not to get rid of. The dies anyway, you can, I mean, I'm a set person, so if I'm going to keep the dies, then I'm probably going to keep the stamp set, right? Because it is a set, right? But you do not have to keep the set if that's not what you want to do. But these dies are amazing and can be used for anything else. So I would highly encourage you that if that is, if you do like the Everyday Arches, you do have them, I would highly encourage you to not get rid of them. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do with this, other than put a sentiment on here at a later time, is I am going to, this is Golden Glow, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it, right? And I'm really just trying to get the outer edges, because as you see, that's going to kind of go on the inside, right? So I'm not trying to get so much the inside. Let me close this now. You can build up your color however dark or light you want it to be. You can build your color. And again, I'm just worried about getting color on the outside. And then that's what I'm going to do with that. Okay. All right. Normally I would put foam tape, but I've had foam tape all over this. So I'm just going to put adhesive liquid glue on the back. I don't want to make it so mail prohibitive to whomever I'm going to send this to. Something is going on over there. I don't know if you guys can hear that humming and that buzzing sound. But it's starting to tell me something's not right, so I'm going to have to listen in just a second and try to figure out what that humming and buzzing sound is. I am. All right. Guys, so here we have our impromptu card. I am going to put a sentiment. I don't know what sentiment that I'm going to put on it. But I tell you, for coming off the cuff of a card, I think this is absolutely amazing. We did use, here are the products that we used to create this card. We used the Everyday Arches dies. Let me put these away. We did use the Fun for Fall stamp and die set. We used the Glow of Harvest Designer Series paper. And that's what we used to create this card today. Guys, I hope you enjoyed your time with me today. I know I enjoyed my time with you. So don't forget, if you are new to the channel, to hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and click that notification bell, and so that you are always aware of whenever I decide to go live. I do not come live on a regular basis. It's most times when the mood hits me, I decide I'm going to come live with you because something's going on in my brain that I really need to get out and share with you. So don't forget, the Designer Series paper is the product of the month for the month of August. There will be a new product of the month in September. So if this is something that you like, it is $5 with a $75 purchase. And I would be so happy if you would shop in my online store. And the link to my online store is in the description box, but it is also here. My store is www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And if at any time you do need to have a question about anything Stampin' Up related, about a card that I've created, about anything, please feel free to reach out to me. Either leave a message here, and I will be more than happy to reach out to you. All right, guys, on that note, thanks for stopping in today. I hope to see you next time. And until that next time, happy stamping and happy Sunday.